Elon Musk, Bernard Arnault, and Jeff Bezos are all savvy business tycoons admired by many. Their prominence on the list of the world's richest people makes most believe that only men know how to accumulate wealth. But this cannot stop the Iron Ladies, the talented women, from rising with enormous wealth and carrying famous stories. And the most prominent name among them is Ms. Françoise Bettencourt Myers, the matriarch of the L'Oreal empire. How did Françoise acquire her wealth? What has she had to sacrifice to achieve her current status? All will be revealed in this video. Françoise Bettencourt Myers, born on July 10th, 1953, is the only daughter of Liliane Bettencourt, the queen of L'Oreal for many decades, and the granddaughter of Eugene Schuller, the founder of this famous French cosmetics empire. Françoise's father, André Bettencourt, was a French politician who served as a minister and senator in the government. At that time, the Bettencourt couple was extremely famous in French high society for their wealth and the lavish parties they held incessantly. This aristocratic family owned a luxurious 5-story mansion, which included a 30-meter swimming pool in the basement and numerous servant rooms on the second floor, with a total area of about 1,000 square meters. This place also has a full collection of paintings by the masters, from Matisse to Fernand Léger, of Picasso, and contains thousands of fine wines, as well as hundreds of Carré Hermès wines. This family also owns several houses in Ploubazlanec, Brittany, built in 1920 and estimated to be worth up to 3.2 million euros in 2010. The Bettencourt family also owns a large property in Formentor, Majorca, which includes 2 houses and several hectares of land in Formentor, part of the Balearic Islands. According to Mediapart, this property is valued at up to 9.9 million euros. In addition to the properties in Brittany and the Balearic Islands, Mrs. Liliane and her husband also purchased Eros Island and the nearby coral island of St. Joseph in Seychelles in 1998 for about $18 million, and then sold it after to $60 million. The Bettencourt family is said to be owning about 12 hidden bank accounts, including 10 accounts in Switzerland and 2 accounts in Singapore, concealing a total of approximately 100 million euros. However, despite being born into a prestigious and wealthy family in the beauty industry, their daughter, Françoise, does not share the same passion for a glamorous lifestyle as her parents. She chose a simpler, more modest, and discreet life. Theotom Sancton, the author of the Bettencourt story. From a young age, Françoise showed discomfort with the world of the wealthy. Instead of attending lavish parties, she often spent her days lingering at home, immersed in her own world. Françoise did not place too much emphasis on her appearance, makeup, or fashionable clothing. She followed a minimalist and natural philosophy, shopping only for what was necessary. Most of her wardrobe consists of dark-colored clothing or leans towards blue tones, including blazers, trousers, suits, and flat shoes. She rarely uses beauty products, preferring a natural look, occasionally applying bold eyeliner and a bit of lip balm in the true style of French women. Even though she is the sole heir to the L'Oreal empire, Françoise has never shown any interest in the business world from the very beginning. Since she was young, she has expressed a strong passion and enthusiasm for playing music or writing literature. Later, as she grew up, Françoise also chose to focus on developing her career as an author. She is the author of books about Greek gods and also delves into analyzing the complexities of the Bible with insightful commentaries. In 2020, she even published another book on hearing disorders. Although she was the only daughter, the mother-daughter relationship between the late billionaire Liliane Bettencourt and Françoise Bettencourt Myers was never very harmonious from the time she was a teenager. Liliane once responded in an interview describing her daughter with not-so-flattering words such as heavy and slow or the cold child. The relationship between the billionaire mother and daughter reached its peak when Françoise began a decades-long family feud over inheritance assets. The scandal that caused a stir at the time is referred to by the media as the Bettencourt affair, and it only ended with the death of Liliane. It all began when Françoise Bettencourt Myers accused her mother's close friend, photographer François-Marie Bagné, of using emotional manipulation to persuade Liliane to give him a significant amount of cash, artworks, and real estate, totaling approximately $1.86 billion. Françoise filed a criminal complaint against Bagnier in December 2007. However, Mrs. Liliane Bettencourt dismissed her daughter's accusations, claiming that she willingly and wished to share her assets with Bagnier. Françoise certainly did not let things be that simple. She continued to accuse Bagnier of deliberately manipulating Liliane psychologically, separating her from her family to profit from her, by adding 9 other defendants to the case after a sensational investigation that involved then-French President Nicolas Sarkozy. Some sources suggest that at that time, Mrs. Liliane was suffering from Alzheimer's disease, and many relationships around her took advantage of her illness for their own benefit. The final case was brought to trial, and in 2015, Bagnier was convicted along with 7 other defendants for exploiting the weakness of others to commit fraud. Nevertheless, the mother-daughter relationship between the 2 billionaire women completely ended from that point on. Since then, the 2 have never spoken to each other again. In an interview in 2008, Ms. Liliane shared, "I do not want to and will not meet my daughter anymore." In 2017, Mrs. Liliane passed away, leaving behind a fortune of tens of billions of US dollars for the daughter she had estranged. This colossal inheritance immediately made her one of the prominent figures on the global rich list, surpassing even Alice Walton of Walmart, according to estimates by Business Insider. At that time, her net worth reached 42.3 billion US dollars. And from this point on, she officially joined the race to become the richest woman on the planet. Although not particularly fond of the business world, Françoise Bettencourt Myers still holds the position of owner and is currently the largest shareholder of L'Oréal. Both her husband, Jean-Pierre Myers, and their 2 sons are involved in managing the corporation. The family of the female billionaire holds up to 33% of the L'Oréal empire, valued at around 200 billion euros on the stock market. With the beauty industry developing strongly and L'Oréal continuing to be one of the dominant companies, the wealth that Françoise owns has surged significantly. Her business acumen and her involvement in her family's company have greatly contributed to her wealth and influence in the industry. Since 2019, Françoise Bettencourt Myers has continuously topped the list of the richest women in the world. According to Forbes' statistics, in January 2023, Françoise Bettencourt Myers currently has a net worth of 82.5 billion USD and is the 14th richest billionaire in the world. She owns a villa located in the suburbs of Neuilly-sur-Seine in Paris, a villa along the coast of Brittany, and a private island in Seychelles. In addition, she also holds the position of chair of the Bettencourt Schuler Foundation, an organization currently valued at around 683 million US dollars. And to date, according to the latest reports, Françoise's assets have reached 100 billion US dollars, making her the first woman in history to achieve this milestone. So, what do you think about the richest woman on the planet? Is the wealth she possesses enough to impress you? Please leave a comment so I can know.